Hello everyone! Today we're going to take a look at building a character array from a string and seeing why we'd want to do that, how it's useful, and how we'd implement that. So what we have in front of me right here is just a standard button with an event handler and the template that we're going to follow here. So there's a standard function inside of C#, the ToCharArray function, and I want to show that we can use that function to build a character array, and then we'll build it ourselves. So here we see the compiler's happy. We're able to convert this string to a character array, and everything works just as intended. Compiler's fine. What we're going to do is we're going to build this function ourselves and explore a little bit about character arrays here. So without further delay, let's do that. So here we're going to take an input string. It's just going to be hello world with a question mark. And then we're going to convert that question mark to an exclamation point. And therein lies the key difference between a string and a character array. A string won't allow us to do this, which is why we would need a character array. So let's explore that. So let's start off by defining a character array, and then let's create our function that's going to take our input string here. So this function is going to take the input string and it's going to return a character array. So here I have the function prototype. I'm just going to copy this to speed up the process a little bit here. Okay, as we saw, this red underline went away. Here we just need a return value. We'll have that at the end. One quick little note I want to make is if we wanted to read this input, rather if we wanted to write to this input value, we can't write to the string array here. So what this character array is going to look like when it's done is going to be something similar to this. Will equal, we'll say, then that's going to be a space. So this is more or less what the character array would look like. Now each of the characters would also have single quotes around them to denote what a character is. Characters always have these single quotes around them. Here's a space, the empty white space character. So this is what a character array would look like. We're also going to convert this question mark to an exclamation point, so I'll put that in there in advance. And you'll notice here I can't modify. So in an array, we can modify any element of an integer array by assigning it to that index. So if I try to do that with a string, I'm not able to change this string input. I can't change the first value of it. We can read the first value of it though. That's what this error message is telling us here. It is read only. So if we did this, we would see that it accepts that. So this letter would be the letter H, which would be this first letter here, coming in from this input string. But we can't write over it. And so that's where we gain the value of a character array. We can modify parts of the string. So let me keep these here just as little notes. Okay, so let's build the logic of how we're going to read this string and convert it into a character array and make the necessary modification to convert the question mark into an exclamation point. So to do that, first we will want to just define a character array here. We'll call it result char array. And then similar to how we build other arrays, we use this new keyword. We say the variable type, square brackets, and then we need the length, which is going to be input dot length. And now we're just going to loop through the input and assign it to result array with one caveat. We're going to add some logic. Input dot length. So here we're setting up the for loop, getting our index. We're saying as long as our index is less than the length of the string, and increment the index. Now, if we were just rewriting this ToCharArray function that we showed earlier, where it converts the input string into a character array, then all we would need here is read the value from the string and put it into the character array. And that would satisfy the ToCharArray function. And of course, we need to return result char array. The red underline goes away once we fully define the function meeting all expectations. So this meets the requirement to ToCharArray. But now let's add some dynamic programming to it. So here, let's change the question mark into a exclamation point. So that's going to be pretty straightforward. So here we will just check for that question mark character. Notice when we're using the char, as I've mentioned earlier, when we work with chars, we use single quotes, not double quotes. So here I'm just doing the logic a little bit in reverse. If it's not an exclamation point, which is what's going to happen most often, excuse me, if it's not a question mark, just assign that character. So HELL space WORLD. But in that last case, where this is false, we want to assign char result char array here with the index to be the exclamation point. And this will convert us into, this will convert that one specific part of the character array into the exclamation point. And let's just display the result. First, let's display the original string. Just our input string here. And then we'll do a little for each loop, which will loop over each character in the character array and just display those as well. Here we're using toString because we can't just display a character. The Messagebox Show will not let us. So let's run our code and see how this goes. So here we are converting hello world question mark into reading each element of hello world, and then we finish with the exclamation point. So there's our original string. So we've just run this line of code. And now we're going to read each individual character. There's our space character, world, and there's our exclamation point. So that's an easy way to use character array and convert a string into a character array, and some of the most important, a very useful case of a character array. Character arrays are also faster. They're more dynamic. So if you want your code to run quickly, if you ever needed to read a lot of characters for whatever reason, it does make sense to use a character array. It's like the difference between using a list and an array. You're going to come with, it comes with a lot more baggage, I guess you could say. It comes with a lot more functionality though. Strings you can do a lot more with. Character arrays are a lot simpler, but they provide that ability to change what's inside of the array, and that is going to be a very useful tool in the toolkit in your future programming endeavors. So keep that one in your back pocket. That's all I'm going to cover in this video. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.